And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Lucas from Mars here with the continuation of this Miami Marlins rebuild franchise here. And well, after the last episode, it's going to set up an absolutely critical matchup here with the New York Mets. Miami 36 and 32, New York 37 and 33. These two teams right now are tied for the NL East right now as tied for that top spot. So this is a 4-game set here with New York, and then we're going to play them as well later on in the end of the month here. And there's a look at Pete Alonso, who is right now the best hitter on this team for New York and the Mets, and so he's definitely a guy to watch out for. And I will get a quick manage this first game here in this episode, and then we're going to play a full game as well later on. So here's Chris Bassitt starting for the Mets here in this one, but we're going to go as stepping up is Joey Wendell. We're going to go into the quick manage here really quickly, and we're going to see what this team can do if Miami can win this series and hopefully take the top spot in the NL East. They will have to win 3 of the 4 games that they play here against New York because this is a 4-game series against them. So we'll just see as there's a home run by Starling Marte here right away in the first batter of the game. In the bottom of the first inning, Sixto Sanchez is the pitcher, and Sixto is struggling right now out of the gate. A single and a walk and then an error. And there's another base hit, 2-run score. And it is 3-0, and then a triple by Brandon Nimmo brings home another run. And not a good start here to this ball game if you're Miami. 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning here in this one, and with an offense that has struggled as much as this offense has this season, that is a really hard hole to climb out of. As Chris Bassitt, not an amazing pitcher here for New York, as Miami's getting a couple of base runners on here now, but there's a strikeout that ends that top of the third inning and wipes away a scoring opportunity. Sixto has recovered a little bit here with a couple of scoreless innings. But where's the offense here? They haven't shown up just quite yet. And Sixto gives up a double here to Brandon Nimmo, who's 2 for 2 so far. And then Escobar gets a base hit to score Nimmo for another run. Now first and third with 1 man out. There's another hit here, an extra base knock. A double by Starling Marte, who's now 2 for 3 in this game. And it's 6-0. Gonna go to the bullpen here, and a really bad start by Sixto Sanchez in this one. Now there's a ground down, and that ends the inning. But 2 more runs in the bottom of the 4th, and Eliezer Hernandez now rolls the bases here with a few walks, but does not give up any runs though in the bottom of the 5th. But I mean, the offense hasn't scored any runs, so even if the pitching, was just very good or decent in this game, it wouldn't really matter. There's another run, though. I mean, New York just continues to add on, and that is going to just about put the game away there. A 2-run home run. An absolute bomb, and New York now up by 9 runs here, 9-0. And, well, Miami's offense is not going to show up here in this game at all, as Chris Bassitt goes the distance. A complete game shutout for him in this one, and no runs by the Marlins, and a 9-0 dominant victory for the Mets in this game. So they take this first game of this series, and they now have that 1-0 lead, and a 1-game lead in the NL East there. As you get a look at this line score again, 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 in the bottom of the 4th, 3 more in the 6th inning. And looking at the offense here, I mean, you got a double from Joey Wendell, but other than that, really nothing happening offensively there. And so 9-0 to score here. We're going to sim this game as well. Jazz Chisholm is back in the lineup here, but there's another loss. And another game where the pitching just didn't really do much there. And now we actually fall behind the Atlanta Braves, who have won a couple of games in a row, it seems. But, man, a couple of losses in a row here. There's Jazz Chisholm back in the batting order again. And now Miami only 2 games above 500, 36 and 34. And, well, here it is. Pablo Lopez and Taijuan Walker. We're going to hop into this full game here with Miami. I mean, they're in pretty desperate need of a win. Looking at the schedule again, you have the Rockies. We're not going to play any of those games. But then you got the Mets again here at the end of the week, towards the end of June. So definitely some big games here against the New York Mets, and the big important stretch in their schedule here for the Marlins as we go into this game here. We're going to go the full game here in this one with the Marlins 2 losses in a row to the New York Mets right here, trying to make up some of that distance that they've lost in this division, and trying to get their pitching here and their offense back in sync in this bowl game. So here's Taijuan Walker for the Mets. 5 starts this season so far, and in 77 innings, he's done pretty decently. 2.92 ERA and a 1.17 with a good season right now from Taijuan Walker here as a starter for New York. So with 2 down here in the inning, here's Jazz Chisholm back into the lineup after that slight injury and that slight setback. He's back in the batting order again, batting .255 this season. Just kind of an average hitter all year for the Marlins, and he pops that pitch up in the infield, or towards the outfield actually. The shortstop there is underneath it to make the catch. That's Lindor making that grab there for New York, and so nothing happening for Miami in that top half of the first inning. We go to the bottom half now, and here is the best pitcher on the staff by far, one of the better pitchers, period, in the league this season. 14 starts and a 2.31 ERA, a 1.16 whip for Pablo Lopez. Very, very good numbers for him this season, of course, and definitely the favorite of the Marlins here to make it to the All-Star game. I think we'll also have some relief pitchers in the All-Star game as well, as their bullpen has been very good this season. But Pablo Lopez here trying to put another quality start in his belt, as he will start the day with a line drive for Starling Marte and a base hit. So Marte gets on, and a runner immediately for Pablo Lopez to deal with. Here's Luis Gourmet, who is just absolutely going crazy right now in this league. He's batting .315 this season so far, and he will walk. So Lopez, a couple of base runners on already in the first inning. Now it's Jeff McNeil, who basically works like a bunt here. Jazz Chisholm goes to first, but runners are going to move up to second and third with only 1 man out. So that'll bring up the starting lineup here for New York. We've already seen a little bit of it there. Starling Marte, Luis Gourmet, and Jeff McNeil already. You've seen them. J.D. Davis batting 4th, Mark Canha batting 5th, Lindor, Dominic Smith, Eduardo Escobar, and James McCann there at the bottom of the order. Here's Mark Canha. Mark Canha, very good season to this point. Second in the left fielder All-Star vote and batting .288 this season. And he takes a changeup down low for ball 4. Pablo Lopez getting worked in this inning. 23 pitches so far. Bases are loaded here for Francisco Lindor, who pops it up on the infield. And there's Jesus Aguilar, who goes over and makes the catch to end the first inning. So a hit and a couple of walks there. A little bit of a rough first inning by Lopez, but no runs allowed there. And we go to the second here, no score. Jesus Aguilar up, and he takes a fastball on the inside corner. Good pitch there by Walker, his first strikeout of the afternoon. And now here's Garrett Cooper, who swings at a pitch, a fastball right there, but he flies it into the outfield, and that's going to be caught out there in the right for the out. So he's 7-8-9 for the Mets here in the second inning, as 1 man on and 1 man out for James McCann. 0-2 pitch to McCann is a swing and a miss. And a high fastball there, four-seamer, and McCann cannot catch up to it. Now a full count here to Starling Marte with 2 down in the inning, and Marte now swings and misses. And a fastball down at the knees. Good pitching here by Pablo Lopez, getting a couple of strikeouts. And 2 hits already for New York. They've gotten 4 base runners total in this game, but have not gotten on the board yet. No runs so far. So we go into the bottom of the third inning, and here's another look at the statistics for Guillorme this season. Doesn't have really any power. Only 1 home run this season, 17 RBIs, but the average in the on base for him are extremely good. 0-2 is there! Down at the knees for strike 3. Great pitch there by Pablo Lopez, and he's got a few strikeouts now on his resume. And there's Marcana, who pops it up. First base side again. Aguilar settling underneath it and making the grab. So that's the end of the third inning. And just still no score. Miami does have a hit now as we go into the top of the fourth. Here's Jesus Sanchez, who looks at a forcing fastball high for ball 3. The count has run full. Chisholm is on deck. And here comes a full count pitch now to Sanchez. And it's right there down the middle. And a curveball that definitely should have been swung at by Sanchez, but he looks at it for strike 3. There's another one. Another strikeout. Jazz Chisholm swinging through a high fastball. And Walker's got 3 here through 4 innings. And, well, both pitchers having great starts to this game. As 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Eduardo Escobar up. Here's an 0-2. Swing and a miss. At a curveball down low. Lopez with 4 Ks now, and that was a pretty filthy pitch right there to Eduardo Escobar. So end of the fourth, and we have still got no score. So we go now to the bottom of the 5th inning, and here's James McCann, who has struck out his first time up. He's got a 2-strike count on him now, 1-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Nasty circle change inside. And the 5th for Lopez. That was on his filthiest pitch yet. Right there. Way inside. And down low as well. Great pitch. And a pretty bad swing right there by the batter. Now Marte. Full count. And he looks at a circle change inside. Lopez with his 3rd walk of the game, and with 85 pitches, he's kind of, running low on that pitch count. Here's Luis Guillorme again. 0 for 1. Let's see what he does here, and he swings at an inside pitch, and will drop it into the outfield and into right for a single. Cooper brings it back on into second base, but now 2 runners are on here with 2 men out for J.D. Davis. Huge spot here for both Pablo Lopez and the Mets. Swinging a fly ball into the outfield. Cooper racing after it, and he can't get there as it bounces to the left of him and over the wall for a ground rule double. So J.D. Davis gets finally somebody on the scoreboard here as you see that ball bouncing and going over for a double. And then there's a big fly ball here into center field. Jesus Sanchez on the run, making the catch right in front of the wall. And, oh man, that was quite the play right there by Jesus Sanchez to avoid at least 2 runs from scoring there on what would have been, extra bases. So, Miami trailing here as we go into the top of the 6th. And it's another game where Taijuan Walker dominant here in the offense for Miami, just hasn't done much of note. And here's Jacob Stallings, 0 for 1 in the game, and he swings and drives one into left. There it goes, and it's a line drive home run. Over the wall and left, and Stallings with his 3rd of the season. And, man, he has been very good since coming out of the injuries. He's cooled off a little bit as of recently, but man, still, he is that. I mean, we really needed him in the lineup in late, last month when he got hurt. And Jacob Stallings there provides a big time boost as the game is tied at 1 apiece now. 374 feet there on the distance. And here's Roy Soler, 14 home runs, 40 ribbies, and only batting .230 this season. He's got 2 men on, 2 men out. And he pops it up on the infield. This time, it's the Mets first base. It's Gourmet's turn to settle underneath a pop-out in the inning, as Jacob Stallings, though, tying the game. And both teams 1 run, both teams 4 hits and no errors. So pretty even game so far, I'd say, through 6 innings in this one. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and here's Francisco Lindor coming on to the plate, and they're going to go to the bullpen here. Miami will, as 5 innings, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and only 1 run allowed by Pablo Lopez is pretty darn good. I'd take that any day of the week from Pablo Lopez. I would have liked him to see him maybe get another inning underneath him, but for what he did pitch today, that's a good start from him, as Anthony Bender here gets the strikeout coming right out of the bullpen on Francisco Lindor, who swings way early on a high fastball. I mean, his swing is almost all the way through the zone before that ball reaches the catcher's glove. Now James McCann, and he's going to ground it over to second. And there's Jazz Chisholm taking care of it for the out. So, end of the 6th. And this is really, really close game. Really great game here. Miami and New York still tied at 1. We go to the top of the 7th. Here's John Birdie, and he looks at a fastball for strike 3. Walker's only his 4th strikeout of the game, and his first one in a couple of innings here, as De La Cruz swings and drives it into the outfield, and running on that ball is a left fielder, and it almost, I mean, it goes all the way, takes him all the way to the wall before a catch is made there. Both teams back to even again as Cole Sulser out of the pen, 18 innings this season, and, I mean, a pretty decent resume for him. He's been very good for Miami out of the bullpen this year, 2.5 ERA. And here's Luis Gourmet up again, 1 for 2 with a single and a run in this ball game tonight. And Cole Sulser coming set. Here's a 2-2 to Gourmet. Is a swing and a line drive base hit into left field. So Gourmet getting the 2nd hit of the game for him tonight. And now it's Jeff McNeil up again. He 0 for 3 in this game so far, but he takes a look at ball 1. And that probably should have been a strike right there at the top of the zone. But either way, it is ball 1. Out. The count is at 2-2. And he's going to swing and drive it into the outfield. No chance for this one to be caught. It's off the wall. Sanchez picks it up. And Gourmet going from 1st to 3rd on a double by Jeff McNeil. Only his 6th of the season. Now with 2 runners in scoring position. And 1 man out. Here's J.D. Davis. All he has to do is get a fly ball deep enough into the outfield, or a infield grounder, or whatever that looks like. But this is a smart chance after the first ball. We just decide we're gonna put him on base and load them up. So a force at any base now with Mark Canha coming to the plate. Second base is loaded situation of this game for the Mets. They did not score the first time they had the bases loaded. Let's see what they do here now. 2-2 pitch from Sulser is a little grounder over to 3rd. Wendell picks it up, and he's going to go to second base, and he will not get it out there. And no, there's not going to be an out counted at first base either. And the Mets will score, and it's going to be a fielder's choice officially. But man, I mean, Joey Wendell should have just gone to first base. He would have been able to get the outs. And there's a pop-up as Lindor tried a suicide squeeze, and that did not work, as it pops right up to Jazz Chisholm. Man, there's 2 down to the inning, and man, kicking yourself for that mistake there. Gotta go to first base. The run would have scored regardless, but now as there's a grounder, and it's not going to end up coming back to bite the Marlins that hard, as it's a grounder to first. And so Sulser kind of pumped up about limiting the damage there. The New York Mets only get 1 off of that bases loaded situation. Could have been a lot worse for sure, but it's still a 1-run game now. Marlins trail again here in this one. As we go into the 8th, and here's Seth Lugo. Hasn't pitched very much this season. Probably was injured, I'm assuming, at the beginning of the year. Has only gotten 1 out all season long. So here is Joey Wendell coming up to the dish here with 1 out in the 6th. Or 1 out in the 8th, excuse me. Here's Joey Wendell Swings and drives it into the outfield here, and that ball falls in to left for a single. So, a base runner on here for Miami. There's now Jesus Sanchez, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch swinging, driving it into the outfield, and it's over the outstretched diving attempt of the right fielder, and it's all the way to the wall. That's going to tie up the game, as to third base goes Sanchez with a triple. And Jesus Sanchez pumped up right there, an RBI triple, as it is just over the glove of the diving outfielder there in right. And, man, it's a tie game, 2-2 apiece now. Jazz Chisholm, who swings and misses, and a curveball there at the knees. That was a really good pitch by Seth Lugo here, as you get a little look at that pitch right there. Very, very good pitch at the knees to Jazz Chisholm. Now 2 down in the inning here for Jorge Soler, who has not done anything yet tonight. 0 for 3 in this ball game. That ball is misses outside. The count is at 2-2 to Soler. Here comes the pitch by Lugo. It's a swing and a drive into center field. Backing up on it is Nimmo. Nimmo looks up, and that ball is gone! Jorge Soler! What a big-time drive, and the Marlins take the lead here in the 8th inning. It is 4-2 Miami. And a crowd silencing home run number 15 this year for for Jorge Soler. And man, what a swing here. Drive to center field. The bench pumped up. The head coach pumped up here. And 3 big-time runs, 420 feet to straightaway center right there. Absolutely crushed. And man, oh man, that is a monster home run right there. Pick yourself up again if you're Jorge Soler. And number 15, he leads the team in that category with the home runs this season. And, you know, maybe that starts kind of something. And getting him back on the hot streak would be nice. But 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning for the Marlins today. And, man, oh man, 4-2 now as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And now 6 outs away from winning this game. Here comes Dylan Floro. And I think for some reason I thought we were in the 9th inning. So Dylan Floro, I mean, probably shouldn't be coming in this inning. He's done so good this season, though. 13 saves and 16 opportunities. A ridiculously good ERA this season. So we're going to ask Dylan Floro to get a 6-out save. I know it's not usually what he's used to, but Jesus Aguilar makes a great play right there, and that'll help the 6-out save there. We're trying to ask out of Dylan Floro is getting the first out on the first pitch of the at-bat. That's huge. Now here's James McCann, 0 for 3 in the game so far. And we'll look at this 1-2. Here it comes. Swing and a base hit into center field. So, I mean, that's the first hit of the game for McCann, and it'll put the tying run going up to the plate here in the form of Starling Marte. There's a 2-2 to Marte, and that's a, did he go? And he does! He did go. The first base umpire says so, and that's a big time out right there. Out number 2 in the inning, and now it's Luis Guillorme coming up again. 2 for 3 in this game to this point. And an 0-1 to him is a grounder over to Wendell at third base. And he goes to second to end the inning. So, man, there we go. The Marlins have held the tide here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. We're doing flow. Comes in with only 12 pitches. So, a really good and really efficient bottom of the 8th inning. I feel comfortable pushing him a little bit here in this game. 3, 4, and 5. So not a easy part of the batting order here in the bottom of the 9th. As Jeff McNeil starts it off with a fly ball to the outfield. De La Cruz backing up on it. And near the wall is De La Cruz right in front of it. makes the catch. Great play by De La Cruz right there. 1 down in the inning, and that's on the first pitch here of the ninth. Now it's J.D. Davis. 0-1 to him. And here it comes. And Davis swings at second pitch in the at-bat here, and it's a ground out to Jesus Aguilar. So, 3 pitches, 2 outs for Dylan Floro. Now it's Mark Canha, who 0 for 3 in this game, and does not get credit for the RBI in the bases loaded situation because it was, again, a fielder's choice. But he is the last chance here for the Mets, with Miami trying to steal a game in this one. Here comes the first pitch. Swing and a drive, and now about a 4-pitch bottom of the ninth for Dylan Floro, who closes it out with a 6-out save. And the Marlins win this one here tonight. A final score of 4-2. And that's a big-time important win. Pablo Lopez, I don't think he got credit for this victory. He did not, as winning pitcher is Sulser, but a good start for Pablo Lopez for sure. But how about that big-time top of the 8th inning? 3 runs come across. Jacob Stallings also with a big-time home run there. But, of course, the triple from Jesus Sanchez and that home run from Jorge Soler, the 2 big daggers in this ball game for the Mets. Or for the Marlins, excuse me, as the Marlins now down by only a game here in the NL East with that big-time win. So I guess the player of the game for his home run. Not a whole lot, not many too crazy games offensively by really either team. Only one guy had a couple of hits, or had more than one hit there for New York. But a 4-2 win, and now it's the final game of this series here. Would like to at least force a split and remain tied at the top of this division if you want that. And well, it's the top of the 9th inning, and we have got a really close game here today. Brian De La Cruz is 3 for 3 with a home run, 3 ribbies, and is actually a triple away from the cycle right now. So we're gonna hop into this game right here, the finale of this series between Miami and New York. Tied at 5 apiece. Here is Brian De La Cruz coming up, and is 4 for 13 in this series with a few ribbies, and he's having a great month of June right now. And he will swing at the 2-1 there, and it's a line drive, so no triple for De La Cruz. And I didn't really realize that this was a player locking scenario. I kind of thought that we would be controlling everybody here, but going into the middle of the ninth, we will have a kind of a simulation here. Let's see what happens. Luisa Hernandez pitching on the mound, and we're going to go to extra innings. Hernandez trying to get one more. He does, and a home run by Garrett Cooper in the top of the 11th makes it 6-5. And now here's Dylan Floro on the mound again, trying to get another save. And man on first base here with 1 down. So here's Luis Guillorme, the tying run, or the go-ahead and winning run at the plate. Here's an 0-2 pitch to him. It's a grounder to Birdie, who picks it up, steps on second, and throws it to first base in time to get the outs. And a big-time win. Miami splits with the Mets here in this series, and they win another close game here. This one a 1-run final in extra innings. Luis Hernandez gets the victory, his 9th this season, and a big-time 6-5 win for Miami. Brian De La Cruz finishes 3 for 4 with a home run, 3 ribbies. Garrett Cooper 3 for 5 with a monster RBI home run in the top of the 11th inning here. And Jorge Soler 1 for 4. He's batting 240 now. Austin Dio got a hit as well, but Matt Cooper batting 270. Joey Wendell got a couple of hits as well. And there you go. Aguilar got an RBI, his 37th of the season. And Sandy Alcantara, the starter in this game for Miami, and he had a decent start, I guess. 5.1 innings, 9 hits, which is a bit much. 3 strikeouts and 4 runs, 5 total, but 4 earned. And on the other side for New York, a home run by Lindor, and 3 RBIs by Alonso and another RBI from Marcano. So we continue on with this schedule here. We're just going to sim these games against Colorado and another win here for the Marlins. 3 in a row now. A 5-1 pretty easy victory here against the Rockies, who are pretty bad. So not going to really focus on this series very much. This is a pretty bad team here. Jazz Chisholm looks like probably got a home run in this game. And it appears he was 1 for 3, but 4 RBIs for Jorge Soler in this one, who also had a home run, a grand slam, it looks like, in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Taylor Rogers, 8 innings, 8 hits, which is a bit much, only 3 strikeouts, but no earned runs for him in 8 innings. That's a really good start for Taylor Rogers, as we get some injury updates and not anything significant, but here we go, continuing on with this series, and there's a loss there, 1-3. The offense not really showing up in this game, it appears, as a home run by Iglesias for the Rockies here, 2 for 4 for John Birdie. But yeah, not much in the way of offense there by either team. And 6-0, a pretty decent kind of bounce back start, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. Still kind of struggling this year, though. And so now we go to the finale of this series here with Colorado. And Brian De La Cruz, not a significant injury there. He's going to be out for just a couple of days. That they do end up winning this final game against Colorado and splitting the series here against the Rockies. And look at what happened here to New York. They are only 2 games above 500 now, and the Miami Marlins are 5 games above 500. The Mets must have lost some games here after we played them. They must have played a 3-game series and not had much success. So Miami really has a chance right now, if you could win this series, to take a pretty big command of this division, as you get a snapshot of it there. The Mets and Braves a game and a half back from the Marlins here. So we're going to sim this game, and there's this game simmed, and it's a big-time loss here in this one, unfortunately. So the Mets are now a half game in behind Miami here, a 1-5 win for New York, and the offense here for Miami not really there, although it is Jacob deGrom, so I guess it makes sense. 7 innings for him, 10 strikeouts, 9 hits, but only allowed 1 run, so definitely struggled there. And Pablo Lopez, pretty decent game, only 5.1 innings, but only 1 earned run and 7 strikeouts. I'll take that from him for sure. Still has a very ridiculously low ERA. And now we're going to sim this second game of the series here, and it looks like another close one. Miami ahead by a run, but Brian De La Cruz, again, is having another ridiculous game. He's got 5 RBIs so far with a home run, and, there we go. We just end this one in a 9-6 victory here for the Mets. The offense definitely showed up. Both teams had a pretty good offensive night, I would say. A home run by Nimmo for New York, 2 more RBIs from Lindor and Davis as well, as you get a look at what the Mets did offensively. But, man, the offense here for the Marlins, De La Cruz, man, unbelievable. 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs. He's batting .304 now this season. 3 RBIs from Jazz Chisholm. I like to see that. Garcia, Nolas Garcia actually got it. Or not Nolas Garcia. Garcia got a couple of hits in this one as well. But 6 RBIs, 3 from Jazz Chisholm. But De La Cruz, that was his game for sure in that one. And De La Cruz is a guy, he has deep potential. I think I actually increased his potential up to a C. But, he's not one of those guys that you would really think is going to have that great of a season. But, man, he's been really on a hot streak recently with the Marlins. He's been definitely better offensively. And there's a look at the pitching here. Alcantara gets the win, but not an amazing start. The bullpen, pretty decent, though. Kind of shut the door, but in that one as well. So, looking at the calendar, we got 1 game here against the Mets, and then we're going to finish it off. So, the next episode, we will be focusing in on a game against St. Louis here, because St. Louis has a very similar record to us. They're right there in the wild card chase if we don't win this division. So they're an important team to kind of take into account here. So we will be playing the second game of that series. And then we'll be playing one of these two games against Los Angeles as well before the All-Star break. So those are the full games that we'll have for you. And then we'll do some other stuff as well before the All-Star. We'll also play the final game of the All-Star right before the All-Star festivities as well. But we go in and we sim this one, and no offense really to speak of at all here in this one. But the Marlins do come back in this game. How about that for a clutch time win? And New York is only one game above 500 now this season, and we are 2.5 games ahead of them. We are solidly ahead of them right now in the divisional race, as we get 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, both off of a double, it appears, from Jacob Stallings. So how about that? Taylor Rogers, another really good start. 7 innings and only 1 run allowed. So that's going to be it, guys, for us in this episode here. Miami, we're in a really good spot right now. 42-36 on the season. 2.5 games above the Mets now. But that's going to be it for me. Hope everybody is having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more and be notified when I come out with more stuff. But you've been listening to Lucas from Mars. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.